Hello, change makers. Sandra Madaffrey here with another expert interview and another great guest, which I'm really excited to announce. And that is Anthony Hewen, who is known as the Web Doctor. And he is a specialist everything websites and has now gone into the world of domains. But I'd like to introduce you to Anthony. How are you, Anthony? Would you like to tell everyone a little about you?
Hey guys, how's it going? Thank you so much, Sandra, for having me on. It's a pleasure, and I hope I give you guys a bit of value today as well. So, just how I started.
Yes, let's go.
Okay, yep. So, I graduated from Swinburne with a Bachelor of Design in Digital Media. My first ever job was was at the Entertainment Book. So for those who don't know, the Entertainment Book is like they're known for like the big book discounts and coupons. And I was doing websites for their high-end clients. I was doing that for a few years, and then I decided to move on and try to explore marketing. So I became a marketing coordinator in Chadstone in one of the big towers. This was in 2020, so this was like COVID. And then, so my job only lasted for 1 month because COVID came along, and I unfortunately lost my job. And from there, I was like, okay, well, what do I do? Like I think that was like a lot of people's questions. Like, what do you do?
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, and like the crazy thing is, when around that time, like I just got connected to so many amazing entrepreneurs, business owners, people, of all different industries, people who are local here in Melbourne, interstate in Australia, and just like even international as well.
Yeah.
Speaking about that, the next day I lost my job, a life coach from America reached out to me, perfect timing, and we just had a chat, and I was telling her what was going on, and she convinced me to start a business, and I was like, a business? You're kidding, right? I was just like, and yeah, that was my mindset at the time, and I was just like, yeah, because I was like, I just lost my job. Come on, like you want me just to do something like big like that? But uh, I didn't say no. A part of me was just open to that. I was like, well, okay, well, I mean, she's a life coach. She probably knows what she's talking about, right? Like she's helped other people. That was my logic behind this. And
Perfect
I was,
logic.
yeah, and I was like, okay, well, she helps people change lives. So, okay, well, let's just have a listen. And yeah, and I was like, okay, cool. So let's start a business. But what business should I do? And I didn't, yeah, like, I mean, I've always had the desire to be my own man one day. I just didn't know what I wanted to do. And I wasn't definitely not expecting to start right now. But hey, sometimes the universe has different plans for you, and the universe like, nope, you're doing it now, whether you like it or not. I was like, okay. And so I was like, wait a minute. Uh, like I've made websites for a few years at the Entertainment Block, and I've also helped some friends out just making websites for them for their little businesses in the cracks of my free time. And when I think about it, it doesn't cost that much to start a website business. I just need like a few things. I've got a computer, I've got this. Hey, let's make something happen. And yeah, it was great. It's been such an amazing journey. Like the people you meet along the way when you run a business, and like this, like the connections you make, the
Yeah.
projects you work on. And I was just like, how am I going to be like a great web developer? But the thing is, you just work on projects, you just take when the opportunities come to you, you just take them and you just figure it out along the way. It's like that Richard Branson quote, isn't it? It's like you say yes, and then you just
Work it out later.
yeah, and you work out.
Yep,
So
I do that all the time too.
yeah, and that's what I did. And I've just learned along the way, and like every project I work on, it's like an opportunity just to provide value to people, and to also just to learn things along the way, so I could just build like even better websites along the way as well. And look, and yeah, like just when you run a business, like there's a lot of growth that happens in it too. So like it's just been amazing, and and along the way I met Sandra. So
Yes.
and yeah, and just since then, my life has been filled with like amazing people who just inspire me, just so I can grow from, and yeah, it's been great. And I'm very excited to see what else is in store for me as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And just let everyone know that we are in the same BNI chapter. That's how I met Anthony. And I have to say that we get up very early on a Friday morning, but I tell you what, Anthony just brings the vibe to the room every single day. So love your passion. And
Thank you.
I loved what you said about COVID. See, there was a lot of people, and this is a subject that I've actually been talking a bit about. I actually did a webinar a couple of weeks ago for some master trainers, people that are in a master trainer program for NLP around change. And, you know, it was interesting because all the people that really did succeed during COVID, like yourself, I mean, I didn't lose a job, but I pivoted straight away and jumped into the online trainings and online therapy and stuff like that. And then that's actually opened up a bigger market because, you know, sometimes the things that used to look as challenges open you up to something bigger and better, because now you can get into an international market, and so can I. So, you know, COVID, the people who didn't change, and it's reminding me of something that's in my head at the moment because of my coaching in a box. It's all about change, the latest one, and the people that didn't change are the ones that got left behind. So congratulations on taking that leap. And I do know that you love it, and you are very good at creating I've seen some amazing websites, and once we've finished today, you can maybe even put some links to some of those other websites that you've made and let people have a look. But what I wanted to ask you is, your website is like your calling card on the internet, and these days with SEOs and stuff like that happening, people do like to stalk you and have a look at your website. So can you just tell people a little bit about why websites are so important, and maybe a couple of little tips that are so necessary with websites?
Oh, absolutely, for sure, for sure. So some of the reasons why websites are important. So, like again, it's like the first example I like to give is it's like your online business card as well. Like I see like there is value in business cards and all that, but let's just say you're going to a networking event and then like you just forget your business card or something. But if you have a website, that's something that you can share with people as well. Like typically, your business cards can have like your contact details on that, or it might have like a QR code too. But having a
100%.
website, yeah, it's like your online business card, and it also will most likely explain your services much better and in detail as well than having a business card. And plus, you get to save a bit of money when you think about it instead of
Yeah.
printing.
I agree 100%, because I'm just going to pick up, here are my business cards, and my business cards are gorgeous, right? Beautiful, rose gold embossed. But whenever I go to networking events, even though I hand out business cards, I always give people my details. I love the idea of that QR code on a business card that can take them to your website. Great idea. And absolutely, what this just gives my details. It doesn't say anything about me, whereas a website is almost like a brochure, because you've got different pages and things like that.
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah, and that's something that I really love as well. And also with websites, like statistics have shown that if you have an online presence and if you have a website, uh, like it will make you more reliable, and it will make you more like a legit company.
Professional.
Yeah, compared to all your other competitors who might not have a website as well.
Yeah.
And it's a great place just to build trust as well.
Yeah, 100%. And I do know that I have to get my website redone, and we've spoken about this 100 times. We haven't done it. I will
Oh,
be
that's
doing
okay. You're a
We'll be
busy
doing
woman.
it soon. But
Yeah.
what I loved is when you told me about doing a video. how important it is now these days to actually put a video on your website. And I thought that was such a great idea to someone to be able to jump on your website and actually see a video. So I thought that was really great and something definitely I'm going to get done. What can I ask you, Anthony? What are some of the mistakes that you see people doing on their websites?
Oh, what are some of the mistakes?
Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the things, one of like the basic things is that what fundamentally these days, websites should be responsive on all different devices. So responsive means that your website should be viewable on different devices. So it's not just computer, like you need to make it presentable on tablet and mobile devices as well.
Yeah.
It's not just for the user experience, but it's also Google also has a look at this as well, and that might affect your SEO.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So yeah, so like if you build like if you're with your website, yeah, it's best just to make sure that it's presentable on all different devices. So like headings, text, pictures, all that stuff as well.
yeah. The other thing I hear from business owners all the time is I think a lot of them get really freaked out because they think it's going to cost heaps. But if there's a startup, I mean, like I'm not asking for prices, but you know, you can work within people's budgets, correct?
Oh, absolutely. I can. I can. Like what I do is that I just love just to talk to the business owners and just say, hey, where are you guys at? What's your budget? What's your story? And let's see how I can help them. And I most of the time am able just to find a solution
Yeah.
for everyone as well.
Yeah. The other thing that you do, which is fantastic, is that it's not just about starting new websites. You actually go in and help people with their existing websites. And one of the things that I loved about speaking to you was the fact that my website was incredibly difficult for me to be able to just change a few things. And one of the things that I know that you've been able to help me and also been able to help some other people that I've sent you is with existing websites, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can actually jump in and sometimes you can just change a couple of little things on people's websites to help the websites work better and be more up to date, I guess, and teach the business owner to do it as well.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And yes, and yeah, and I just want to say thanks, Sandra, for giving me like the opportunity just to send people my way to do the exact same thing. So yeah, like I'm helping out some of your friends with that as well. Just because
Yeah,
like I think I do believe that business owners should have some power or control over their website as well, as opposed to just completely giving it to someone else. Like I do believe there are some things that I can teach business owners on how to like do changes to their website as well. I might not teach them everything,
yeah,
but I just teach them like the basic things as well. And because you know, like I hear stories about people just getting ripped off like hundreds of dollars, just changing a text, just changing some pictures. But I believe that that's something that I'm able just to teach
yeah.
um, like business owners as well. Like technical or not, at the moment currently, like I'm doing a pretty good job so far as at teaching people and able to understand.
Yeah, absolutely. I call myself a very lazy, I'm not going to say about lazy business owner, right? I try to cut corners. I'm all about not getting overwhelmed. And as you know, that this, what we're recording tonight is going on about 3 different platforms
Yeah.
at once. And that's how I work. So what I like about some of the things that you advocate for as well is I think business owners need to know how to do everything in their business
Yeah.
before they outsource. And I love that idea that you can teach them, and then if they want to, they can outsource. They don't have to do it themselves. And I've also loved the fact that you do really care about the business owners. It's just such a beautiful connection that you have. with
Oh,
people.
absolutely. Yeah.
People that I know that I've sent your way. There's been a great connection with you, and they really do appreciate that you see them.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, for sure. Like, I think, yeah, I think, like, just even outside of business, I just really just love helping people and just seeing how I can just provide value to people as best as I can as
Yeah.
well.
And
Yeah.
I have been trying to, so guys, if you're watching this or listening, put the comments. I have been trying to get young Anthony here to create a course that he
Yes.
can create a course. He's sat into my program, how to create your course in 14 days. And now he's just got to put something together, because I think it would be a great course for a lot of us to watch and learn from him. But now I want to talk about something that's been a bit of a hot topic the last couple of weeks, which is domain names. And of course, the introduction of the .au and the dropping of the .com. And I have actually absolutely told all my clients, and I was waiting till tonight to talk about it in this group. If you have a .com, if you have a .com.au, you really should also grab the .au.
Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%. Like, I think, yeah. So, like, .au. So, like, in other countries, so in other countries, there's like .nz and like, and all that as well. Like you don't have to type in .com, whatever the country is. But now in Australia, like, you can just type in .au without the .com. And some of the benefits of that is that, like, having a domain that is easy to type in, like, will make it easy for people just to know, just to find your website, and it has a potential SEO benefits as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, and like, I think just since it's like a very new thing to Australians at the moment, like, um, as far as I know, like you need a .com.au first to get the .au.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, and yeah, but you gotta be quick, guys, because starting from next year, like, they might not happen anymore. So anybody can buy, like, for example, like, if you don't buy yours right now, Sandra, like, someone could be able to take sandramadaffrey.au next year.
Yeah. I've
Yeah,
already got mine, don't you worry.
yeah,
So yeah, my understanding around it was that if there was no registration of the name at all, if you didn't, it's a brand new company, there's no registration, you can actually get the .au now. But if there is a registration already, like a .com or a .com.au, you've got till the 22nd of September
yeah.
2022 to actually prove that it's yours. And if you can't prove it, you can't buy it. But I believe after the 22nd of September that anyone could buy it. Now, my thing is that I'm a big advocate for this. I always tell, especially people who are in a service industry, that they need to brand themselves first. So you need to get all your domain names .com, .com.au, and now .au under your name, because if someone types in Sandra Madaffrey, it's all going to go to my website, no
Yeah,
matter what
absolutely.
that they put after that. So I think that's really, really important. So I actually sat here the other day, and every single business that I have, and you already know, Anthony, that I've got about 5,
Yeah.
right? I've gone in, I've already got the .com.au, and I've got the .au now too. So tell me what, for people, because you're now helping people get their domains, tell me a little bit about that and just explain it a little bit more, because it's a bit over my head. What it's actually, we know it's just like a name, it's almost like a hosting place or something where you put your stuff, but can you go a little, like, go into
Oh, absolutely,
and
absolutely.
put your stuff, right?
Yeah. So, when you make a website of any kind, you would need a hosting and a domain. So the hosting is where all the files to make your website will be stored. So like codes, pictures, documents, yeah, all the files need to make your website is usually stored on there. And you have a domain, which is like www.yourbusiness.com.au. Yep. And yeah, and you need the both of them, because how it works is that they both connect with each other. So yep. So I've got like a really cheesy example of how
Cheesy's good.
yes. So let's say if you're trying to like show a movie or something, the hosting is like a camera where like it has like the film and all that stuff, and the domain is like the projector or like the screen, and they connect with each other to show the movie, which is the website, the final result. Yeah. So yeah, by saying that, you need both of them, and yeah, and so yeah.
Yeah, so you can do both now, can't you? Because this is a new venture of yours where you do the hosting and the domains. Is that correct?
Yes, yes, yes. So I'm able just to provide both to the people that I work with.
Yeah, which is exciting because it's something new. And I think it's important because if your website, something happens, right, and you have to
Yeah.
wait for overseas, it's a different time zone and all that sort of stuff. But having someone like yourself that we can pick up the phone and call you and go, you know, let's just drop down, is absolutely imperative. And that's one thing that I talk to people about all the time too. I mean, like in a couple of weeks, there was going to be someone who who does IT.
Yeah.
And I had something happen to my computers in the middle of something, and he was able to actually log in and help. And I think we need to start thinking about bringing stuff back into home and to Australia.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure, for sure. So another advice for people who are buying hosting and domains, I like to think like a lot of us here are in Australia, but depending on where you're from, it's always good to get a hosting and domain service in your like local, because one like it because one, it will run quicker for your audience. So we're in Australia, and if you have your files, your hosting and your domain in Australia, like it will run quicker for your Australian audience, because if you host it overseas, it might most likely or might be slower. So that's just something just to consider as well. And another reason is that, let's just say if you are an Australian business and your target audience is meant to be like Australians, but if your files are somewhere overseas, they might think that you're from that country instead. So Google might have a look at that and just be like, okay, so they say they're Australian, but all their files and stuff are overseas. So it might be like misinformation. So Google might penalize you as well. So that's something to consider.
Yeah.
And I think another one is that, like, if when you host your your hosting and domain, like in your country, like in Australia, for example, like you are you are supporting Australian businesses, you are creating jobs for Australians as well. And that's something I personally value as well. Just I always do whatever I can to support our own.
Yeah.
And also like you don't have to deal with like other foreign currencies as well. You only have to deal with like Australian dollars. So let's just say if there's like inflation or price increases in different countries, you don't have to worry about that, because you're just worrying about like the Australian dollar.
Yeah. And currency exchange changes every day. And
Yeah.
it's a great subject, because we were actually talking about that the other day when we went to a little cafe that had some farmers market type thing, and we bought some local produce, because we're both the same and like to support Australian businesses as
Yes.
much as we can. So I want to thank you for being here. It's been a great chat. What is your last sort of thought that you want to ask people? I know that people can, no matter what platform anyone's listening on, that we will put some links to Anthony, so you can contact Anthony, or you can contact me and I can put you in contact with Anthony as well. But before we stop this tonight, what is a final thought that you want to tell people around anything at all? Just because I know one of the things that I love so much about you, Anthony, is who you are as a person. So I just I want people to just hear a final thought from you, just so that they can see the sort of person that they would work with if they were working with.
Okay, so I like some of the things I would like to say is that, like, if you're starting out a business, like, don't be afraid. Like, just give it a go. Like, it's like, for me, like, in COVID, I was just like, okay, like, I just took a chance on myself. I believed in myself, and I just gave it a go. Like, starting a business can be scary, but it's okay. Like, just surround yourself with people that will lift you up. Surround yourself with people who can guide you and mentor you. And yeah, and just surround yourself with people, like, who understand what you're going through, so they can just help you as well. So for example, like, I'm just so glad I've got like people like Sandra in my circle that I can just always talk to, and just like live, and just like just find ways to collaborate with each other, and it was always great just learning from Sandra as well. So that's just one thing. And and another thing is, like, if you guys just have any questions about your website, if you guys need any advice, I'm always here to have a chat. It's not just about like money, like, you don't have to pay just to talk to me. Like, I just want just to see what I can do to help you out as well. It might be just what you might need, just might be some advice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Or
Yeah,
you might need a website, or you might need like a tweak here, but you like at the end of the day, I'm just here just to try to help you and just guide you in the right direction
yeah,
as well.
yeah. Fantastic. And that's absolutely what we're all here for, first and foremost. And and I love what you just said. Don't be scared, just take the plunge, because I know I did it too. And
Yeah.
we all start somewhere, right? And
Yeah.
where I am today is not where I was when I started. So I
Yeah.
love that. So take the plunge. So I want to
Can I
thank.
say one more thing?
Yeah, of course you
Yeah,
can.
and look, yeah, even outside of websites, like, I just love connecting with people as well. Like, I believe that everybody has a story, whether you have a job, whether you run a business. Like, I just love hearing people's stories. I love connecting with people as well, and just seeing how I can provide value to them, just even like outside of websites as well. So,
Absolutely.
like, please feel free to add me on social media, talk to me. Like, I'm always up for a chat.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Anthony. It's been
Thank you, Sandra.
amazing having you here. And for those, I'm signing out for those, and I'll see you on the next episode.